you believe that you can heal yourself? Too often we give our power away to something outside of ourselves, and rarely, if ever, trust and tap into our innate healing power and intuition. Everyone has this capability to heal in ways we never thought possible. It's your sovereign right to claim and have true health and lasting wellness. Now, here is the host of the Dr. Dolores Show, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in our amazing universe, and welcome to another episode of the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network. And I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino. And, there's a lot going on in our world right now. And, I thought it would be really cool to talk about this topic, spiritual awakening, because that word or phrase gets thrown around quite a bit. And a lot of times people don't understand what that really is. Spiritual awakening, it's almost like, maybe it's as serious as a come to Jesus moment, or it could be maybe you're having a health crisis, or maybe life has been working so well and then all of a sudden it's not, or you have gone through your life and it's almost gotten so routine that you question yourself, is this all there is? These are some of the questions or some of the scenarios that may happen when you're on a journey of self-discovery and your spiritual awakening. So spiritual awakening is it's a wake up call, if you want to call it that. It's a shift in perception. It's a realization that there's more going on than you possibly know, and you're more curious about exploring that. Or sometimes we are just put into the world and we feel like we're drinking from the fire hose. Anybody ever have that experience? I know I have, where everything's happening so rapidly and you seem to have no control of it. And the more you try to control it, you're losing control. So when we talk about spiritual awakening, sometimes it's about when we are getting ready to explore a part of ourselves that we either have ignored or weren't aware of that this existed, because we've been programmed into thinking that all you see is what you see, but there's more going on. There's a whole unconscious and invisible realm that's present that is in force assisting us on our pathways. Now, this is where the challenge comes in. You have to be quiet enough to hear it. Okay. And what do I mean by quiet enough? It's like you need to be fully present in your body, so you're in the present moment, that no matter what is going on around you, you have come to ground zero within yourself, where it's like you have that certainty within yourself that no matter what is going on around you or outside of you, you know that you are safe, secure, and you are loved no matter what. It's about not allowing the external to influence the internal, which is your sovereign right as a human being. We so readily give that aspect of ourselves away to something outside of ourselves. And it's something to ponder, because why is it that we do that? Are we thinking that something outside of us has our power and control, or have we given our power and control to that aspect? That could be possibly true. Are you focusing from the component of lack or fear instead of abundance and prosperity and love? These are things to ponder on. And how are you being drawn and influenced and allowing your world to influence you with those in mind. So, circling back to spiritual awakening, I feel that everybody's on their path and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. But sometimes when we are not aligned with what we're truly supposed to be doing, the universe sends us a message. Sometimes it's a subtle tap on the shoulder, like, pay attention. I think you need to look over here. And we choose to ignore that. And the next time the universe comes around, they kind of hit you on the side of the face and you choose to ignore that. And finally, the universe does a showstopper. Maybe you have some trauma or some event, catastrophic event, or a health challenge or anything like that. And that stops you in your tracks to get your attention because maybe what your soul is trying to tell you is that there's a different way for you to move forward. Okay. So take a deep breath right now because I know that's a tough one for many people to wrap their brain, wrap their mind and wrap their essence around. But it is the truth. How many times have we had that subtle hint that, we should be doing something, a whisper, like, you should be doing something, you ignore it. And then the next time around, it's a little louder, you still ignore it. And then finally, it's like something just sits on you, and then you have to do something about it. I'm going to invite you not to wait till the real catastrophic stuff happens, because it's like the whatever your soul is trying to message you about, it'll eventually get to you in one way, shape, or form. It's up to us when we choose to listen and how we want to listen. Some of us are so dug in, so stubborn, so resistant that hearing these hints or these possibilities of where we need to be are sometimes not what we think they should be. And so we kind of talk ourselves out of it. And when in the big scheme of things, these things are happening for us, not to us. They're happening for us so we can realign with where we need to go as a soul versus a human being or a doing, if we want to call it a human doing. It's about us being and allowing us to live life differently, more on terms that are aligned with who we are at our innate divine essence. So, a spiritual awakening, sometimes we have, I joked about this, these come to Jesus moments where stuff happens in your life and you realize there's a bigger aspect going on than just you. And if anybody's ever traveled to beautiful places in the world, and one that comes to mind is like the Grand Canyon here in the United States. I remember the first time that I went there, when I looked over the edge, I was just like, it really gave me the essence of how small I really am in the big, cosmos of everything that's in the world. Yet who I am really makes a difference in this world. Okay. Even the smallest little drop going into a pond, when it drops on the surface of the pond, it ripples out. So it affects everything. So you really can make a huge impact when you tap into the essence of who you are. So your spiritual awakening is about moving in a direction that you probably never thought that you would be moving into. Okay. How many times we have thought that our lifeline is going to be, I'm going to be doing this and I'm going to be doing this and X and Y, and it's going to get me to Z. And it ends up being something way completely different, yet it accomplishes the same thing that you want to create. It's like we have the opportunity when we have a spiritual awakening to have the unboundness and the infinite possibilities of what's possible. Just because things are the way they are in this present moment doesn't necessitate or set in stone how it's going to be in the future. Things are constantly changing and evolving nanosecond by nanosecond. And the power that we have is our number one, our awareness of this and the realization that we are in control of our life, not something external to us. We decide what we want, and that essence comes from us and ripples out. It's not the other way where it starts from the outside and ripples in. No, we create what we're seeing and what we experience from here first. And I know that's going to be a real tough one for people to wrap their minds around as well, but it is the truth. If you want to make a change in our world or a change in your life, work on yourself. There's a lot of people out there that give that aspect of themselves to something outside of themselves to align themselves with so they could create what they think they want. When in essence, it may not be what they truly want, but they're giving that power away to something outside of themselves. And a lot of times it's from fear, it's from fear of lack, fear of scarcity. You know, it's about not wanting to take ownership or responsibility, and it's like, here, you do it for me. I don't want to have to deal with any of it. I kind of feel that way about social media. I don't want to have to do the work to get out there and whatever, but I just chuckle about that because that's pretty funny. And when you have a spiritual awakening, things are different. You are looking through life with a different lens. And when you're able to see things from a different lens, you could see the interconnectedness of how everything is kind of together, even though it makes no cognitive sense. But you could see how all living things in the universe are all interconnected together. The things you can see and the things that you cannot see. There's often a shift of perspective and a heightened sense of purpose. Sometimes you are able to tap into that and you realize that I don't need to be in this situation, this relationship, this, you know, if I'm in a job that I'm, mediocre about feeling the passion, it's like sometimes you have this realization that you want to be doing something different and something more. It's like this drive comes from within yourself, and you don't know sometimes where it's coming from, but you trust it. And it's learning to trust that little voice you have within yourself. You may be experiencing profound emotions. These are like, you know, deep seated, I want to say, triggers that are going to allow you to move forward. I mean, it could be great joy, it could be peace, it could be a lot of grief or a lot of sadness. And you are in it and you're able to feel it. And through that, you're going to be able to move forward in a different way. And it's like you get really hungry and thirsty for spiritual growth, like looking for practices and meditation and reading spiritual texts. Sometimes you'll go into a bookstore and books will jump off the shelf. That happened to me one time, a long time ago. And I went into my first metaphysical bookstore and all these books started jumping off the shelves. And of course, I bought them all and read them, and they were just the most profound thing. So, anyway, it's time for our first break, and you're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, and we're talking about spiritual awakening today. So stay tuned, and when we come back, we'll talk some more.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Ready to break free from complacency? Welcome to I'm Awake, Now What? Your monthly invitation to embrace conscious living. If you've been feeling lost or stagnant, this is your chance to awaken your purpose. Join our transformative conscious wake-up office hours every month for guidance and self-discovery. Experience the power of clarity and focus as you navigate towards holistic healing and empowerment. Don't just survive, thrive. Sign up now and unlock a wealth of benefits, including enhanced well-being, stress reduction, emotional healing, and connection. It's time to ignite the flames of purpose within and start your journey to a fulfilling life.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back, everybody. You're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network. And I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And we're talking about spiritual awakening. And for those of you who are on your path and you kind of feel like you're lost and don't know what's next for you, because it feels like sometimes your world has been turned upside down, or somebody pulled out the proverbial rug out from underneath your feet, and you're like, oh, now what do I do? And you just have nothing, you don't have any idea. Let me know, because I'd love to work with you and help you and support you on your journey. And I work with one-on-one clients all the time and help them maneuver through that and find out what's next for you. This is an exciting time, and yet it could be a scary time for people as well. And sometimes you need that extra support. So just reach out to me. You could go to my website, drdoloresfazzino.com, and just check out what I have to offer. And if that resonates with you, I look forward to connecting with you. So let's talk more about what happens when you have a spiritual awakening. And I'm going to talk more from, more of the medical stuff, because that's my area of expertise, being a healthcare provider and bridging the worlds of the physical with the spiritual and the invisible with the visible for well over 45 years. I noticed back about 15 years ago, and that's probably around 2010-ish or so, that there was a lot more people starting to go to the emergency department and have these incredible symptoms that I say mimic, heart attacks, bad GI issues, whatever that was. And of course, the emergency department would run a battery of tests. The results would come back that they were inconclusive and didn't show any of those signs. And yet the patient would get discharged, and 2 or 3 days later, they'd be perfectly fine, back to normal. So this is what we call ascension symptoms. And this is also part of a spiritual awakening as well, because things are starting to happen in your physical body that are allowing you to take on more energy. Now, if you look at the human body like a computer, okay, and we all have computers, and you know what it's like when you get a new program, okay? You have to download the program, you have to reboot the computer and restart the computer so the program gets integrated into the computer. So human bodies are the same way. only thing is, we get these energetic downloads that are a higher frequency than our body usually is. And what happens is that your body is trying to recalibrate itself to the different higher frequency that has been downloaded into your system. So, just like a computer, you're rebooting yourself and getting reacclimated. And sometimes we have all these symptomology things that come up. These are what we call ascension symptoms. So it's almost like you're getting upgraded energetically. And sometimes one of the best things you could do, by all means, if you're really, you need to go to the ED, for all means, go do that. But a lot of times you could just go take a nap, lie down, you wake up, and then you feel completely different and normal when you wake up. I feel that sometimes we get scared, and the fear of the unknown just makes us want to react and run to the emergency department. But it was interesting because the emergency doctors were saying that they were scratching their head because this phenomena was happening, and it still continues to happen, just so you're aware of it. That's also a sign of a spiritual awakening. You're starting to um, feel things, get downloads, energetic downloads. Maybe you were a closet empath, intuitive, and highly sensitive person. You always had been that way, but you never really realized that you were. And this is all part of it. It's about learning to trust the information that you're getting. The spiritual awakening thing is about being more mindful, being aware, and being, mindful, aware, and also trusting, trusting of the information that you are getting. Because I always share this with people, the information you're getting may be the correct thing for you and you only, not for anybody else you're, surrounded by. And believe me, we have that whole collective consciousness, the external that happens out there. And sometimes it's just laden with a lot of fear and, lack and chaos and stuff like that. And when you're starting to wake up and have your spiritual awakening, you're going to spend more time inside here and getting your information from here. You're going to realize that the things that used to bring you joy sometimes no longer have lost their lackluster. And that's not a bad thing, a good thing. It's just what it is. It means that maybe you need to go deeper within yourself to really connect with what is going to bring you that, that solace, that passion that maybe we externally thought was there for us, but it's not. You're going to find that you're going to be more aligned and more alive than you ever felt in your life because you are living and in alignment with your true soul's purpose. You might feel an increased sense of empathy and deeper understanding and compassion for yourself and others. You're going to have more of a heightened sensitivity. You're going to feel things more intensely. And like I said, the self-awareness part, you're going to see how it kind of how you fit into the bigger picture and how what you do as a soul really influences and allows you to show up as the light being that you are, to radiate that essence into collective consciousness, because we all contribute to collective consciousness. Okay. I feel it's about where our power is going to be coming in is us working on ourselves, being aligned with our soul's essence and what we are here to do, and allowing that to ripple out into collective consciousness. We have the capability to change things, each one of us individually. People think that, oh, I'm just one person. I can't make a change. I can't create anything different. I beg to differ on that. I know for a fact that every soul has the possibility and the potential to make a difference. It's how you choose to make that difference. Okay. We can make a difference of being negative and just putting that all out into collective consciousness. Maybe it's our self-talk that we talk, the things we say to ourselves, that's actually contributing to collective consciousness as well. This, I'm not good enough, I don't feel good enough. Guess what? We say that to ourselves and we put that into collective consciousness. No wonder why we are in the state that we're in right now, where there's a lot of hate, a lot of judgment, a lot of criticizing. Guess what? We've been doing this to ourselves and we've all been putting and collecting it in there. So, wouldn't it be cool if you're able to shift that on yourself and start changing that? Because each one of us can make a difference. And this is how we start to do that. Clean up our self talk, be kind to yourself, love yourself, have some self compassion. We need it more so today than ever. Okay. Self compassion is the foundational piece to having peace on earth. Okay. Something to think about. When you're going through a spiritual awakening, it's like you're able to see your old patterns and realize, oh my God, this is not working for me any longer. I remember one time that I was traveling down to Brazil and to study with some different healing modalities. And for me, what was a game changer was the work of Alec Kardec. Okay. He was a spiritualist medium from, like, I want to say the early 1900s. And what was interesting to me was, we think about things and we do things in our life and we don't realize the impact that it has on our surroundings, but also on the people that we come in contact with. And it was a huge game changer for me because he talked about when we leave this lifetime and go to the other side and we go through a life review. And the game changer for me was that he said that we get to re-experience everything we experienced in our lifetime, inclusive of the impact that our actions made on other people and how it was perceived by them. That was a showstopper for me. It made me realize, oh my God, what we say to people and how they take it is an impact as well too. So it circles back to, is it really necessary to say what you need to say? Is it kind? Is it helpful? And is it going to make a huge difference? So those are things to remember. So for me, moving forward from, you know, decades ago, it was just like, oh my God, so how am I being, how is my beingness impacting other people? Am I leaving them in a better place than where I came from? Or am I creating more angst and more, um, angst or, I would say chaos in their lives? And I know it's not my responsibility on how somebody else receives the message, yet I think it's my responsibility to be kind and have that message resonate kindness and come from the heart so that I don't harm, damage, or hurt anybody. Okay. This is something to think about too. We think about releasing old patterns and letting go and limiting beliefs and behaviors and even changing your behavior. It's like you wake up to the awareness that you have more impact than you know. And it's like the blinders have to come off. So we're getting ready to go on our next break, and you're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, and we're on the Inspired Choices Network, and we've been talking about spiritual awakenings. And when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more and maybe do a little meditation so you could feel the essence of spiritual awakening. So stay tuned.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Ready to break free from complacency? Welcome to I'm Awake, Now What? Your monthly invitation to embrace conscious living. If you've been feeling lost or stagnant, this is your chance to awaken your purpose. Join our transformative conscious wake-up office hours every month for guidance and self-discovery. Experience the power of clarity and focus as you navigate towards holistic healing and empowerment. Don't just survive, thrive. Sign up now and unlock a wealth of benefits, including enhanced well-being, stress reduction, emotional healing, and connection. It's time to ignite the flames of purpose within and start your journey to a fulfilling life.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
Well, welcome back, everybody. You're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And we've been talking today about spiritual awakenings and, what that is and how one can maneuver through it and how it can be kind of daunting sometimes. And if it's a daunting thing for you, if you're going through so much stuff right now, I just invite you just to reach out to somebody like myself who may be able to guide and support you on your journey. It's important to remember that spiritual awakenings are unique to each individual, and everybody's going to have their own unique experience, and the changes will vary depending on where we are and how much awareness we have. While it can be, beautiful and transformative, it can also be challenging and disoriented. And so sometimes just to have some guidance and resources are just incredibly important. And, what I also wanted to share with you is that I am offering a program starting very shortly. It's November here, and I know this is an evergreen product, but it's a program called I'm Awake Now What? It's a monthly membership for your transformative journey on spiritual awakening. And what it is, it's a community that offers resources, tools, healing, once a month type of topics that we talk about on a live Zoom call, and you have access to the recordings. And if this is something that really speaks to you and you feel it could support you on your path to spiritual awakening, I highly encourage you to go to my website and click on I'm Awake Now What, and you'll see a bunch of information for that. Would love to have you and love to support you on your journey. So we talk about catalysts that, create spiritual awakening. And I think we talked a little bit about that. It could be life-changing events, like we experience a loss, or maybe there's a huge disaster that happens, or maybe you've had a near-death experience, or you just had a chance encounter with some earth angel or uh, spiritual guru. I mean, sometimes those are the things that just are I wouldn't say tipping point, but allows you to open the door and step through the doorway. Internal triggers sometimes are deep meditation, intense spiritual practices. And, sometimes when people start getting, they have that thing, well, life's kind of going around, and it's just like, my thing that happens when I know something's going to happen is like, is this it? Is this all I get? And it's just like, that's like the magic word that just opens the door and lets the next layer of stuff comes in. So I have to be mindful of when I get to that point, because I know that there's more for me to explore and go deeper. Well, I'm feeling the need that let's just go into like a meditation right now. So we could nurture yourself during a spiritual awakening. So I'm just going to invite you to just find a quiet place and where you won't be disturbed, and just sit or lie comfortably and gently close your eyes. And just begin by taking a few deep breaths, and inhale slowly through your nose, filling your lungs completely, and exhale slowly through your mouth, releasing any tension. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale slowly through your nose and just allow your lungs to expand and fill, and exhale slowly through your mouth and let all that tension melt away. And just 1 more time. Take a deep breath in through your nose and allow your lungs to expand and fill, and just exhale slowly through your mouth. Now just focus your attention on your breath and just allow your breathing to return to its normal inhale and exhale patterning. And know that with every inhale that you make and exhale that you take, you're just going to fall more and more relaxed into your physical body. Just notice the sensation of the breath entering and leaving your body, and just allow it to be just as it is. Just simply observe it. And as you continue to breathe, just allow your mind to wander. I invite you not to judge your thoughts, just allow them to be there as they are, and simply acknowledge them and gently bring your focus back to your breath. Now imagine a warm golden light filling your body. This light is pure love and healing energy. Allow it to fill every nook and cranny of your physical being, and allow it to spread through every cell and every fiber of your being. Allow it to fill up your physical body. And as that light fills you, imagine it extending beyond your physical body. And allow this light to surround yourself in a cocoon of light, or a pod, a protective and nurturing space. just for you. And within this space, connect with your spiritual essence. This is the part of you that is eternal, pure, and divine. Imagine it as a radiant light, a spark of the divine within you. Spend a few moments simply being with this divine spark. And just allow it to grow brighter and stronger. Allow it to continue to expand and expand. Feel its love and wisdom radiating through you. And just spend a moment longer with that essence and feel the warmth of it like a warm, cozy blanket surrounding you. And know you can return to this at any time. And just feel that warm, cozy blanket that surrounds you. And take that with you wherever you choose to go. So as you begin to emerge from this meditation, just take a few deep breaths and ground yourself in the present moment. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes, feeling refreshed and renewed. So how was that? It's always peaceful after meditations. I know for me, I feel as if I'm here, but I'm expanded and can feel what's going on way around me. It's like you're centering yourself, and no matter what happens around you, you are planted and in the present moment. So just experience the essence of that and just give yourself permission to receive that, because this is who you truly are. So we're getting ready to go on our next break, and you're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, and we're on the Inspired Choices Network. And when we come back, we'll wrap it up and talk some more.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Ready to break free from complacency? Welcome to I'm Awake, Now What? Your monthly invitation to embrace conscious living. If you've been feeling lost or stagnant, this is your chance to awaken your purpose. Join our transformative conscious wake-up office hours every month for guidance and self-discovery. Experience the power of clarity and focus as you navigate towards holistic healing and empowerment. Don't just survive, thrive. Sign up now and unlock a wealth of benefits, including enhanced well-being, stress reduction, emotional healing, and connection. It's time to ignite the flames of purpose within and start your journey to a fulfilling life.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
Well, welcome back, everybody. You're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network, and I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And we've been talking about spiritual awakening today on the Dr. Dolores Show, and we talked about what that was and what some people's experiences may be of that. And also we talked about how it could be a little daunting and scary as well, but also could be one of the best things that could ever have happened to you. It's like a pivotal time in your life where I think you have a come to who I am essence more so than, having somebody else's idea of what you should be programmed into you. It's like you awaken to what you're truly supposed to be doing and who you are. And you start to embrace that and show up in your true soul's purpose of what is necessary for you to move forward. And sometimes, things happen in our lives that we're on a certain pathway. And I'm not saying that, everybody's on their journey, they're on their pathway, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And sometimes, you need to be at a certain trajectory as part of your life. And then all of a sudden you have this epiphany and life shifts to a different thing. That's part of your journey. So I feel that sometimes when you're not aware and you're learning how to be aware, sometimes you have these little, what we describe as hiccups or bumps in the road, but they're truly a wake-up call to get you to look at a different possibility for yourself or a different trajectory than you think you were supposed to be on. We have been programmed, humanity's been programmed to think that we have to show up a certain way, we have to be a certain way, and I don't feel that that's true. I know that it's not true. I feel that it is, we are supposed to tune into who we are no matter what the circumstances are around us. And when you're able to align with the true essence and the true nature of who you are, you become unstoppable in yourself and you will know your truth and your certainty no matter how chaotic and whatever the wild ride that's going on around you externally. So it's really about reintroducing ourselves to come within ourselves to tap into our greatness. Okay. Tap into the aspects of who we are and what we're here to do. And it may be unrecognizable to what you had been doing before. And that's okay. You're going in a different direction. Some people leave corporate America and do like a 180 shift and go into something completely different. Some people take what they have and go into corporate America. Whatever that is, whatever it looks like, it doesn't matter as long as you're being true to who you are. Okay. because you have to live with yourself. And when we stop looking externally for our validation, whatever happens in our world politically, um, financially, globally, it doesn't matter because you are just being who you are, being true to yourself, and standing in your sovereignty. So I want to remind people sometimes having a spiritual awakening is stepping into your sovereignty as a soul. But we could quote that. So just to recap a little bit, a spiritual awakening can be a profound shift in consciousness. It can involve anything from a sense of heightened interconnectedness, a shift in perspective, or a heightened sense of purpose. Sometimes it's not what we think it is going to be. And when we look at our life, we could not see this coming. And maybe we needed to have this epiphany or this opening up and this realization that we are more than what we have been defined to be by something outside of ourselves. A shift in perspective or a heightened sense of purpose. Just remember that. There's a bigger picture always. Sometimes we can't see it, but it's there. It's the catalyst for a spiritual awakening that can be both internal and external. Maybe you're having challenging things happening in your life, and sometimes we are being led in a direction where we don't see this, but we're actually being upgraded to something that's way better than we could have ever imagined. But yet we have dug in our heels and are so resistant to what's happening because we can't see our next steps. And this is where having blind faith and trust is huge. So I just invite you to just keep carrying on. And if you need help, give me a call. I'm more than happy to help you and guide you. And how to nurture yourself during these times is just have this awareness, be mindful. Anything you could do to practice having yourself be in the present moment. And what I mean by present moment, where you're doing something that allows you to lose all sense of time and place. We've all had those experiences. That's a mindful activity. Find those, do more of those. Find something that's going to resonate with you. And work on yourself. Look at listening to inspirational books and books on tape or even podcast or whatever, anything that's going to allow you to expand yourself to get you to contemplate more. Spend more time in nature, and take good care of yourself. I feel self-care is more than doing a mani-pedi. It's about eating healthy, getting enough of rest and sleep, and engaging in physical activity that you enjoy. So, and just remember to just connect with other people because there's more people who are waking up now than ever. And it's like the wave that's happening. And I think as time goes on, you're going to see more and more people waking up and having the realization there is more to life than just what they are actually going through. So I want to leave you with this. Remember, a spiritual awakening is a personal journey. Just be patient with yourself, trust the process, embrace the transformation, and really focus on self-compassion. And as you embark on this journey of spiritual awakening, remember that it's a unique and personal experience. Embrace the changes, both big and small. Be gentle with yourself and celebrate the growth. And I want to leave you with this quote, and it's by Marcel Proust, and it says, "The real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new landscapes, but having new eyes." So you're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. I'm Dr. Dolores Vizino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And just remember to be kind to yourself. Take care.
Thank you for listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. Dr. Dolores returns Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Until then, remember to be kind to yourself and create your best life. You are worth it.